today would rest and die. He wouldn't have changed his lifestyle.
Yeah, he wasn't willing
too
to.
big and significant. It would just have happened again because of the cigarettes and the coffee and the lifestyle. His favorite food was a cup of coffee and a piece of apple pie with butter on it, and he was.
Oh yeah, but I think it was the hectic lifestyle.
Yeah, well, and the cigarettes too. I'm sure. He was told right up front when he first got sick to stop smoking. And
he didn't?
No, he never did. No way. He wasn't going to give up the cigarettes.
So you never saw his family at all? Anybody? Was he an only child?
Yes.
He was an only child. And his mom died before you were born, but what about his dad?
I don't know when his father died. I don't believe I ever knew.
His dad lived a long time. Yeah. I want to say that his dad died in the last maybe 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
He lived that long?
Yeah.
He spent all Grandma's money, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what the breach in the family was, that our father was to inherit 2/3 of whatever was the mother's, and she owned half of it in London, and he signed it all over to his father, and his father married some young chick, I guess, and my mother probably objected greatly to whatever he decided.
And why did he sign it over to his dad?
I have no idea. I only hearsay. And when I was a kid, I never ever thought about these grandparents that we didn't, the grandfather that we never saw. I was way older when I wondered, why I was never curious when I was a child, about anything like that. But I never was.
Well, our mother despised him, and I'm not sure why. She used to tell me some things about it. Particularly when I go to Washington, my mother never had anybody to talk to because she and my brother did not talk. And I used to kid the girls at work, and I'd say, I need some earplugs. It's going to be nonstop the entire week I was there. She did nothing but talk. And when my grandmother was sick, my mother used to help take care of her. She loved my grandmother. She used to go to the bank for it. And she used to sometimes get, back in those days, as much as $2,000 or $3,000. And our grandmother kept it under her mattress to pay the nurses and things that took care of her because, he was just a good for nothing that just spent her money, I guess. And my mother really despised him. And this is only my mother's opinion. I don't know if it's so or not, but this is why we never got to know him, because our mother did not want us to have anything to do with him.
So it sounds like your mother liked his mother, but not his father.
She absolutely loved her. Yeah, she absolutely loved her. She thought she was a wonderful woman, and she was bedridden with. She had some kind of rheumatoid arthritis. She was bedridden.
I think she probably has what Kathy has.
Yes, could be.
Hmm.
And they didn't have any way to deal with it back in those days.
Yeah, but she had nurses that were there a good part of the time, and she needed cash to pay the nurses, and Ma would always go to the bank for her.
And these people were superstitious. They wouldn't make a will. They absolutely would not make a will. If somebody leaves a will, I guess they have to do what the will says, but if you just leave it up to the laws of the state, in Connecticut, the laws of the state were that kids got 2/3 and the wife got the rest, I think. Used to be. It's not like it's all different. And because I remember there was an uncle that my father took care of. When he got older, he went and fed him and everything else, and the man wouldn't leave a will. So when he died, my father ended up having to share the estate with a bunch of cousins that wouldn't give him the time of day. Remember that? All the beautiful antiques and all the things that man had. Was all they were all having these superstitions or whatever that they wouldn't budge. Funny.
Tell me about their religious background. I mean, when you say superstitions, what kind of superstitions, or do they have to do with their religious beliefs?
Oh, I don't think so. It was just a way that they felt about things. they felt that they left a will. I guess they were going to die. I don't know. I don't know. I just remember my father talking about that because. So the mother must have been the same way.
Yeah, maybe.
So did his parents come over to this country, or were they born in this country?
Oh, my father's parents?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they were born in this country.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and my mother's, well, not my grandmother, but my mother's father was a big deal in the, what is that thing? The Sons of the American Revolution and the Daughters of the, all those things. I know they had all the papers and everything. I said, I'm not joining that.
They'd been here for many generations, both sides. Uh-huh.
Yes, there are still short-tailed relatives of my grandfathers that live near where I do, the Holdridges. Dumpy's mother was a Holdridge.
Hmm.
No, I don't think they had any religious beliefs. My father was interested in things that were here in California, like that. I don't know, some outfit he paid to study something about metaphysics or something. I remember all the papers were at the house that they had sent him. He was studying something, and then I guess after he died, my mother wasn't going to continue to pay them, so they said she had to send them back. I remember trying to read it before they got sent back. Oh, and he was always interested in California and Nevada. He tried to grow California poppies in our. You remember that? He tried to grow California poppies in our backyard.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it; they wouldn't grow.
He loved Zane Grey too.
Yeah,
one of his
right.
favorite
He liked
authors.
Western stories. Yeah, and of course he wrote a book which never got published, which I still have, which has all kinds of information about Connecticut in it. It's a long time since I've read it, but I don't think there was too much about family life in it. Carol? No.
Was it about his life, or was it
about his life?
As a reporter, it was like, there might be some value in it because he was a very good reporter and he had a lot of integrity, which the media today seems to lack. You know what I mean? So it was like telling somebody if they really wanted to grow up and be a newspaper man, his experience with doing that. So it's kind of interesting, but it might have who was it that was going to publish it?
Yeah, for a textbook. Yeah.
One of the big publishers in New York, and then after he died, they said they wouldn't publish it because he would never be able to follow it up with another book. Yeah, there was all kinds of interesting stories and tales in that book about things that happened. Oh, I can remember my mother saying that he had, invited people over and they had seances or whatever in the living room and things like that, wild stuff.
So was your mother really in love with your dad? I mean, did you get the sense that she was...
She must have been to stick around and have 3 more kids, after about 10 years not having them.
Why do you think it was so long between your oldest brother and you?
I have no idea. I know she had a really bad time having Bobby, and he was a terrible baby. He was one of those ones that has colic or something. I have a feeling it was something like with Rick. He didn't assimilate food properly, but back in those days, there weren't pediatricians, and they didn't offer young moms very much advice, and I guess she wasn't very experienced with anything. She didn't know anything about it. Maybe her milk wasn't good for him, and she didn't know what to feed him. I don't know, but she said he screamed all the time.
Wow.
And that can be really, get on people's. If you had to put up with our father and a screaming baby.
So do you think she used birth control all that time, or?
I don't know.